Hello, we are again in real time. I'm Priscilla and I'm from the 1870 studio and I'm gonna show you a couple ways to do this, but we're gonna work totally in real time. These are all little pumpkins that I've made. They're going on little Tomtins. They are on our site. If you don't subscribe, please do. You're gonna need a couple things for this. You're gonna need, well, maybe you will, maybe you won't. If you want a needle felt, you're gonna need a needle felting tool. So I like to just take fluff. This is just polyfill stuff, fluff. And then I like to also start with a pipe cleaner. Now, when you use a pipe cleaner, make sure that you use bad scissors to cut the pipe cleaner. We're going to cut off the length for our stem. I'm going to make it just this long. Do not have a ruler. There's my pinky, about as long as my pinky. So we're going to start with the green piece of our wool, and I'm just going to tear off a little strand, just this little. Now part of this is going to be hidden in our pumpkin. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to leave a little bit of space down here. I don't need to put it there. I'm going to start with brown at the bottom. I'm going to let that little fluffy bit just hang here. I'm going to wind this up. You can spread it as you wind it. Wind it up, keep it tight, and wind it down. That's going to make our little pumpkin stem. Now I'm going to take our fluff. I'm going to put the fluff right here. I'm going to use a low temp hot glue gun. Put that there. Now I'm going to take and I'm going to put some more fluff on this side. So we're going to make a nice juicy pumpkin. Now these are falling away. The other cool thing about doing the stem like this and the pipe cleaner, look, you can bend it. So we're gonna just sort of just squish around here. Mind if you're using hot glue, do not get burned. Don't burn your fingers. And these are gonna be pumpkins we have for a little Tomtin. If you visit our website, you will see them in our shop. They're adorbs and I love them. I'm going to show you two ways how to do this. So first we got our basic shape here. Don't stress, don't shape this. You want your pumpkin, it's glued in. You can add more glue if it makes you happy right now, but you don't need to, and it'll also poke. You'll also poke your needle, your felting needle, you could break in there. So what I want to do now is just take our stuff of fluff and spread it out. This is the expensive stuff, and this is what will really add to your cost. So I like to take it, spread it lightly, layer it. Doesn't reach the whole way around, does not matter, because I like to build it up with other colors, fluff it out. And this is going to give your pumpkin a really pretty shape, pretty colors. You can do it all in solid orange. If you're a solid orange pumpkin person, you do that. So right now, I'm just sort of squeezing. This is going to be maybe my biggest one that I've done here. I want you to be able to see really good. I'm going to take some of my darker orange and oh my gosh, this felt. I think we're probably going to do up some kits that we have for our site. So this piece, I'm going to spread it, and look how I'm just sort of stretching it up, spreading it out. Some might be thicker, some might be thinner. Doesn't matter. I'm just going the whole way down that long, long, long piece. And we're going to wrap it around our pumpkin. Just wrap it around. Now, we're going to pick a point. This is super important. You're going to be poking this. Don't poke this towards you. Poke this away from you. And you're just going to start poking. And I like to actually hold on to my stem. And I like to start in a certain area. I'm going to start right around the stem and continually poke. Now, if you're watching live, Might want to get a cup of coffee, a little drink of water, because it's a lot of pokes. And the cool thing about doing this is you can do this anywhere. I made all of these little guys last night while I was watching TV with the fam. So you don't have to sit for hours and do this in solitude unless you want to. But I like to pick one spot, any spot, and just start shaping from there. And see there, I caught some glue. I want to get that off my needle, but these little needles have barbs on them, so please be careful. So poke, 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 poke. Lots of pokes. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. And if you haven't visited our site yet, please do. Connect with us on social media. We're on all of them. I know I said I was going to do this in real time, but this does take a minute. I'm going to show you a little hack how to speed this up. Let's unwrap. Let's unwrap gently, gently. Let's unwrap our little pumpkin. This is going to be a little game changer here. I'm going to take a fresh glue stick. Traditionally, I would poke and poke this till it turned into a hard ball like this. But this is alive, but I don't want you to get bored watching me poke a pumpkin. And I also like to give you some tips and hacks. I'm gonna take and I'm gonna put this up, but see how I'm sort of making it the way a pumpkin, sort of from top to bottom. And then I'm gonna press in, press in, press in. I'm gonna give it a nice little hug. We just did one side first. I'm gonna hug it till that cools down. But that's gonna hold all of our felt there for us. I'm gonna do it again till this side's a little bit harder, but I'm just gonna kind of go down, in and up, down, in and up, down, in and up. Give it a little squeeze. And now you can start to add a little bit of shape just because of the hot glue. It's not our needle felting here happening. This is the hot glue that lets us just condense, shape it up. And then I might just here and there where I can still get at it, I might actually just put in a little bit of glue in there to hold. Squeeze and hug it. Give your pumpkin a little hug. And I also like to take and hide the tip of my pipe cleaner in a little curly Q. You can also needle felt that. So now our felt is not going to fall off at this point. We might have some bare spots. Where you have a bare spot, I keep getting everything on my glue gun. That's a stem from a flower. Get in there, yo. Live. Pull that over, stretch that over, cover up your bare spots. We don't want to see any of that white. But we also, because this wool is expensive, this is really, really special wool here that we're using today. I'm gonna put some more glue right in here. So I got a big old bare spot. Down, squeeze, out, cover. So by putting the white filling in, I think it also makes it feel squishier, which I like the squishy. We're just gonna shape our pumpkin up just with our fingers right now. And I also made this pumpkin a lot smaller now. So now we're going to come back in. I'm going to show you how we do this. And now you have to be careful because the hot glue is in there. You can break your needle by doing this. But I'm just going to work on this one little puffy section. So I like to start from the top, go the whole way to the base. And I don't want to just quarter this up. See, I'm kind of poking and pushing that line in. Come down here. Now this part, I'm going to do the same again. Poke, 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 poke. Go up. I'm creating this nice bump. That's what we want on our pumpkin. The nice bump. That's hot glue right there. I can feel it. I can feel it. We're not going to chance breaking a needle, so we're just going to move on. We have a lot of wool sticking up here. Start up here again. Poke in. These take about an hour to do. I'm going to show you the quick version. This is not normally how I make them because of the glue. That glue wants to hunk up and get caught and catch you. Things that are important that you want to look out for is stretch your wool over to cover any white spot. And I have a couple down here that I've kind of left some things like that on to show you. I'm going to set this little guy to the side. So this little one here, you can see like here, this isn't poked. This has not been poked enough. So we'll just poke it a little bit more. Poke, 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 poke. Till you're happy with how it sits and how it feels. Oh, there's the spot. I know I left something on here. This little bit of white, I'm going to just take, I'm going to pull off tiny bit, teeny tiny bit. And we're going to cover that. That's actually too much. Less is more. That little white bit we're going to cover with this. Perfect. And just poke to cover this patch. And I like to poke this around, spread it out, so it's just not a weird color popped in. And typically, people say, how many times do you poke it? Till it feels right. Maybe 20, maybe 200. It depends on what you're going, how much detail you're going for. It really depends. But I just like to poke all my little ends in. See that? See all the little ends going in. Poke, 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 poke. Up here, I'll bring this up, this little tuft up here. And see, this is the little tufty that we're getting it. Poke, poke, poke. I go live on social media all the time. Check out our site to see where and when. I'm going to start doing a lot more lives on YouTube. Get all that YouTube love in. Okay, so I got it in. The white's all gone. I like to squish it, really give it personality. And then this one here, I left with a little bit of white purposely sticking out of the top. You can see how that looks. So I'm going to take a little bit of my green that I have here. Look at this. Oh my gosh, it's so gorgeous. And take some of this. I'm going to put this around. And this is soft and silky, I gotta tell you. Actually, I don't wanna go too far with this because I love how that's looking. I'm just gonna take it in, poke it. Actually, I'm not gonna poke this. There are 999 ways to do this. Probably 99,000 ways. I'm going to take this and just gently swirl this in here. I don't want to blur that color. So look at your stuff as you're doing it. A lot of people, you have an idea in your head of how you want to do something. We all do this. And a lot of times you got to just let the material speak to you, because that's just too cute. And this little fluffy part here, tiniest bit of glue. And you can use regular glue for this too. Pat and hold. I'm not going to lift it up. I want it to look real slick. That real slick little swirl around. Oh, I love that. Yes, 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 yes. Let me show you another little trick here. This little guy, he looks pretty, that side I'm happy with. This side, he needs help. So I'm going to take a darker strand. I have one here that's like a ready pinky stand. And think skinny on these strands. Don't need it to be real thick. I'm going to take this, twist this, and I'm going to take this, I'm going to twist it around here. This is so neat. I love doing this. Take this, pull it down. Take this one, I'll pull this one down here. Take them, I'll twist them down here. It's almost like you're wrapping a little package. A little pumpkin package. Pull it up, twist it, pull that up, and look at all that, the coolness that we just made. I moved them off center down here. So now down here, I like to put a little belly button on it sometimes down here too, which I haven't done that on here. But to get this to hold, you just poke in to here. Poke into your line. You don't need to even do it too much. You can poke in going to the side. You can poke in straight down. I'm not going straight down because there is hot glue in there that I can feel. Poke this in. And then around up here, at the top up here, I could take another piece of our pretty little green and just put the tiniest little bit of glue here. Do you need tiny? Just to hold that in place. Take, squish, and just wrap it. Give it a wrap. So you can put so much personality into these little pumpkins. You're going to have a blast doing it. I hope that was helpful. I hope you liked it. Let me give you a real close look at these. They are all different. All different. And these are all going to be with our little Tomton, the autumn Tomton, that are on our site. So make sure you follow us. I hope you learned something and I hope you have fun. Thank you. Bye.